Welcome to the Blackskins podcast. How y'all doing today? It's Royalty Tuesday. Today, we got to talk about royalty. We got to talk about royalty for real. Royalty the way we want to talk about royalty. We talking about your legacy. We talking about your products, your services, your support, your sovereignty, your kingdom building, and getting down for your crown. And what are some ways to earn royalty? Well, I'm going to give y'all the story. Yesterday, we talked about the story of how IMAGLO Green became a contractor, a participating contractor with the Dominion Home Energy Checkup Program. And within that story, we talked about how we end up doing so much purchasing of supply, and we went about making sure that we had acquired our own brand of lights, because that was what we were installing in homes. So it was more of we needed supply to fulfill the demand of energy assessments, because every assessment we did, we must install measurables, and the measurables were these lights. As you see, we got the IMAGLO Green logo on it, the IMAGLO brand, and the first light that we had in hand was a compact fluorescent bulb. Now, how did this happen? I told you it happened in the previous segment on Monday. But on Royalty Tuesday, to not confuse you about how we got our name on a few generations of products, lighting products. Like this was the first one. Because when we first started doing the energy efficiency program in 2013, 2014, these were the most energy efficient lights available. And then as we progressed, after we got these lights made and sent to us from China, then the LEDs hit the market. And when the LEDs hit the market, all the stuff is right here by me. When the LEDs hit the market, then China sent me all types of samples. This was even a bag that they sent. And as you can see, that is definitely Chinese writing. And they sent me all these boxes with different types of LEDs. This one here, this could have been a IMAGLO sample. They sent me this one here. See the writing on it. Oh yeah, it's definitely from China. This one I don't even think I ever opened. This wasn't what I was looking for. They was trying to give me these small LEDs. This is probably like a 40 watt, But the program that we were working, when we went from the CFL bulb, we needed 100 watt solar bulb. And this one here, yeah, I was right. It was only a 40. So they sent me all types of lights for me to check all types of products for me to look into. But this was a travel smart power plug that regardless of where you went in the world, like it would allow you, whether you were in Europe, whether you were in the UK, whether you was in the US, you push the button out and the different type of power outlets that were in that country. Like, of course, you know the US, so with the US, you see it got that's the outlets for the US. You're in the UK, those are the outlets. So every country's outlets a little different. So they sent me different samples of products that I could eventually make and put our own brand, box, and logo on. It's just some of the samples that I had from there. This even smaller light bulb. Like I said, some of these, I never even took them out the box. I don't want that. That's not what I'm shooting for. What I'm shooting for is this. The light that's lighting up in here right now. This 100-watt LED bulb that only uses, I think, 15 watts. So 100-watt equivalent, but it only uses 15 watts. So pretty much this one bulb, you could take one old 100-watt bulb out and replace it with 6 of these. And these 6 bulbs would only total to be 90 watts. And then that one old incandescent bulb would actually be a 100-watt bulb. So that's how it saves energy. Like the old bulbs versus this, but I can replace 6 of these lights and they use the power that one old bulb used to use. So the story of how these came about is just like I told you. We ordered the first ones from China when we were doing the initial program with the home energy checkup program with Dominion. And that lasted for a couple years where we were just putting CFLs in homes. But after the program expired and they came back again, then they eliminated the need of the CFLs because CFLs had become now outdated. So that was what prompted our trip to China. When we went to China, now before we even went to China, we had already had that first bulb made, the CFL. So when I went to China, I was going there to discover the whole LED market. We went to China, to Ningbo, which is declared itself as the LED capital of the world. And from what I've seen, I think they might definitely be the LED capital, where I remember seeing buildings with LEDs on it, all skyscraper buildings, and the building would shift and have different messages on the building. I definitely had never seen that technology in America anyway. I see it now. You go to Times Square and they got LEDs on everything, and all types of stuff that I seen there in 2013, 14 that I hadn't seen in America till 2020s. So I was really just doing our best to get the supply at the best cost. Because working with the utility suppliers, they was charging too much for lights. I mean, the same lights that they were showing me, like this is another sample light I'm looking at, and this all big. you know, they had these lights. Some people use these in growth centers. Some people use these in street lights. But they had all types of lights that if we wanted, we had the right to put IMAGLO right on this one and let it go in the market, you know. But it was a real benefit to make that first order of lights, because after making the first order of lights in the first stage of version 1 of our light, it allowed us to be able to put the product in and see that it actually worked. I mean, we did several hundred homes with those lights. And today, some of those same IMAGLO CFLs are shining in homes today. So I have nothing but positive to say about the production, because they definitely gave me a great quality product. And that's why I felt when they sent me all these samples for the second series of product, and then I selected the 100-watt bulb that's shining on me right now. That 100-watt bulb LED was what was necessary to get the most incentive dollars per light installed with the utility program. 100-watt bulbs, of course, they paid you more for that than a 75-watt bulb. So I said I will invest in 100-watt bulbs because those are the ones they pay you the most for. Putting those lights out for me was different because, of course, some people buy products to sell the product directly. I didn't buy the product to sell directly to the market. I brought the products to install within this program that we was already participating in. So it made it easier because it was never a point in which I had to go out and try to sell the lights. The lights was already part of the program that we were participating in. So I was able to get rid of the lights at a profit because I was able to get rid of them right through an existing program that we had already figured out what was necessary to be profitable. So after that, once we start really putting our stamp on things, we went from that CFL, the first series of homes we was doing, then we went to China. Then after we went to China, they sent all these samples, like these are the different things you looked at while you were here. These are the different models we have that we can make for you what you want to do, you know. So they even had a power strip that we was going to call I'm a Surge. You know, I'm a Go, I'm a Glow, I'm a Grow, I'm a Surge, you know, a nice surge protector. And at this time, having the USB ports in the surge protector, man, that was innovative. We was like, man, that's going to be a heck of a seller for us. But he never ended up getting that product made. We was able to actually get those at a good price from our suppliers right here in the U.S. So making our own ones of those where we weren't able to make it the smart outlets that was specified for the program. You know, we had options to make different things. So once we got back, then a couple years later, when the program started back up again, I think that was like 2016, then we were able to place an order for the 100-watt IMAGLOs. And I was very happy with that product. Like, as you see it shining on me now, and it's a very bright light. I never forget, I went up to New York. My grandmother's light in her room was blinking, and she needed a light changed, and I put that light in her bedroom, and it was so bright. She was like, wow, and I was like, yes, Grandma, that's our light. I really thought, without a doubt, some kind of way that those lights is going to bring a bigger change than it actually did. I thought we was going to sell millions of those lights, and people was going to be like, I'm going to go green, stand up, save the world, let's buy all the lights, But that didn't happen that way, So as that program expired, we got those lights, and we were putting those in homes. And the last shipment of those lights that I got, I had to go all the way to New Jersey because they came to the port of Newark. We was getting things shipped directly by sea, because by air, with the amount of lights we was getting per order, it was the cost of shipping through the air versus shipping on the sea was times 4, so I could pay $500 to have it shipped by sea, which would probably take about 20-some days to get to me. Or I could get it by air, but by air would be a couple $1,000, bringing the cost per light up way too high. So I would just wait and go to the customs and learn the whole process of going to customs and paying them for the entry of a product into the country. They would have tariffs, and it was just different. Like when I finally got the third series of products from China, which was the solar LED, the light that can shine right in your hand. I done showed you that many times. I ain't got no desire to show you that now. You done seen what it do. But how it happened, I got those lights, and we was currently tenants at the NJIT Innovation Center, business development offices. And, I made that investment to have an office at NJIT because I truly believed that we were going to be selling all of these LED lights and solar lights, and I needed to be close to the New York market and close to the Newark port so I could distribute these lights nationally, and initially nationally, and hopefully grow to be international. Why it didn't happen, when I reflect, I needed more help, just that simple. Like I could envision what products I wanted. I could design the boxes. I could create the barcode necessary. I could make sure that the websites was up and that the people could return it to us if necessary. But what I didn't have any experience or understanding of was sales and marketing. Because, like I told you, with those other 2 products, the first 2 series of IMAGLO lights, I never had to sell them. I was already installing them in homes. And over the years, we did over 3,000 homes. And every home got at least a minimum of 9 lights. So by simple math rights, that's at least 18,000 lights. 3,000 times 9, yes. Am I adding right? No. 3,000 times 9 is like 27,000 lights that we put in houses. Minimum, because 9 lights was the first program. But then after that, they created it where you could put as many lights as were in the main rooms of the home. So 27,000 lights is the minimum amount of lights that we distributed. And based off of me putting in that many lights, like I said, I had no ambition or need to be able to figure out how to sell the lights directly, because I needed to be able to utilize the lights for the installs. So once I got this light, that was just such an innovation. To figure out how to move them, I did not. I still got my eyes on the box of 100 right here, and another 400 in the storage room right there beside us. So when I reflect on Royalty Tuesday, what is it going to take to actually make these products and the next generation? Because I'm looking on my table right now where I'm going back and forth with my manufacturer in China about another series of LED lights. This new light will be able to allow me to right a previous wrong in my life. A whole nother story I can tell you. I just briefly bring it up, but David Reed and me worked on an invention he had called the YAHReal 2000, which essentially was the equivalent of what the iRing is. And he came up with a doorbell with a video that was supposed to show you the output. The only problem was he did this in 2001. There was no such thing as Wi-Fi at that time. So he could vision and see that Wi-Fi was coming, that video feeds would be on our phone. But video feeds, those speeds of G, at that time, it was only like 1G or 2G. You didn't even have 3G where you had video capacity. You didn't even have Wi-Fi. So when that invention came about in 2001, 2002, nothing came about it. We went to the Event Tech conference that they had. I remember he spoke with ADT, and we was in hopes that ADT would buy the product. They didn't. So now it's just kind of funny how things come around, because now in China they got a LED light, that same solar light that we have here. The only difference is when you look here on the light that we're going to have the rights to before 2024 is over, that light has the security surveillance that he was trying to put in the YAHReal 2000. So we may still yet be able to enter the security industry through an advanced solar LED light that has a camera inside of it with Wi-Fi capability that allow you to look at your phone and see whatever that light see. And you gotta realize how, of course, you can put that on your light on the porch outside. You can put that in the light in the kitchen. You can put that in the light in the bathroom. You can have a whole lot of those lights around your house, and if they all hook to Wi-Fi, you can be able to look at the different cameras and see what's going on. So these innovations and penetrations we've already embarked upon. Our royalty is set based off of these things that we've done in progression to try to be a blessing. Not just to ourselves, but others. Like I said, the need, just the fact that we were trying to bring down the price of the supply we were buying exposed us to this manufacturing industry. I showed you all the samples that we had, all the different products we could have done. But the ones we chose were those that we needed based off of our current contract with the utility company. Now the products that we're getting, not just focused on the work that we'll be doing with the utility, but the products are focused on what we can sell directly to the market. And I respect and recognize that when I reflect, I don't know nothing about selling nothing to people directly like that or getting the e-commerce all the way right for those type transactions. So now I have to start thinking as I organize the plan moving forward, who can I get to help me that knows something about sales, knows something about marketing, knows something about getting paid with invoices, taking these products and getting them to big contractors that need to install them in large developments, get them to the government agencies that need to have supply for Navy ships and so many different institutions that could potentially benefit from the products that we will be able to present. I don't know it all. I know what I do know. I know how to go and get it. I know how to design it thereafter. I know how to label it. I know how to go to the port and pick it up. I know how to make sure customs get paid. I know how to make sure customs feel that what you're doing is legit, because they definitely gonna check your, believe that. They gonna say, why they sending this to you in the US of A? And they gonna check and make sure that it's all above board. When they do and see that you doing the best you can to be corrected and respected, then they just say, we need to collect the fee before you can collect your goods. So if you want to make goods and know goods and do good, it's a process. I wish the first one we brought and put in would have been something that we would have been able to sell 1 million pieces of, but we was able to get rid of, I only got these 2 lights. I got this one right here, and I got another one over there. I got 2 of these lights left. Oh, excuse me, another one over there was this one in this box. Excuse me. So, the first series we sold out. I got 2 left. The IMAGLOs, the 100-watt. I already know I can get rid of them. That's why I ain't been just trying to throw them away and give them away for free. I can take them with me to this next program we're about to do and be profitable with them too. The solar light, we still doing our best to get it right, because that's a light that could help all those in darkness. And when the 4th generation come, the 3rd time won't the charm, but the 4th one definitely will reveal. Hallelujah.